It's a well-known fact that the Scottish Championship is the best league in the world, and this season it's more unique than ever. As you can see, the 10 teams that make up the Scottish Championship for the 2024-2025 season are all within the central belt of Scotland. Last season, Arbroath finished bottom and got relegated. Falkirk won League One, finally, and got promoted. Inverness lost the playoffs against Hamilton, Dundee got promoted out of the Championship, and Livingston got relegated from the Premiership. And so, because of this, I'm going to be visiting every single Scottish Championship stadium in this video. But some ground rules before we get on the road. I've got to visit every stadium and give you one interesting, unique fact about each club. I need to find someone at random on the day of filming this video and interview them about the club they work for. I need to touch one goalpost, and I need to visit a landmark that is resembled in one of the team's badges. A huge thank you to Glenn's Vodka for supporting my channel and sponsoring the SPFL. Keep an eye on my Instagram page and theirs over the next few days for a chance to win tickets to SPFL football matches. Let's start this journey and head to Ayr. And here we are, the first ground that we're going to be seeing in this video, and one that has had a good bit of development recently, of course, and it looks fairly open. Oh, it looks good, to be fair, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. He's done well, the chairman. Like, he's just going to, this phase one, he's got phase two to do. That's just to finish the offices on the backside.
Phase two will be the offices around the other side, yeah?
So there's going to be offices that end and offices that end.
Wow.
And he's just bought the land at the back there to put the training ground in. Hello, my name's Dave Timmins.
And you're another Englishman?
Yes.
But how long have you been at Ayr then?
So Ayr, I was here 3 years before, then I left for a season and I come back in the summer.
And you're the goalkeeper coach here, right?
I am, yeah.
How are the goalies looking this season then?
We've got a nice group of keepers, good age band, so yeah, so they're looking okay. Look okay so
yeah, nice.
far. So,
and things are going really well here, aren't they? It must be such an exciting team to be involved with right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been exciting. You know, working at Ayr, you know, it's a well-run club with good people, and yeah, this season we've started off good. So, but it's so early yet.
So yeah, you don't want to say too much in these parts of the season. But is this a club with obviously the development of the stand and everything that's going on off the pitch? Is this a club that you could see getting promoted and sustaining themselves as a Premiership club eventually?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Amazing,
you know,
yeah.
And the chairman's very forward thinking and obviously putting the stand in there.
It's been so long since they've been in the Premiership, right? It's been like 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the Premiership back then. It might have been the First Division.
Yeah, it could have been, yes, yeah, a long time ago. But yeah, but the chairman's certainly got, you know, and the board have certainly got plans together to trying to achieve that, yeah. and then obviously try and stay there.
Oh, what a great start to the video that was. So this is all newly developed as well. This was just porter cabins when I first came to Ayr. They now have a brand new club shop in here and a bar and stuff. I'm obviously here too early in the day, but check all this out. Fact of the day from Ayr United. I want to give you a fact from every club obviously as well. The United in the name, for most clubs around the world that have a United in their name, means that they were formed by the merging of two different football clubs. And Ayr United, apart from Inverness Caledonian Thistle as well, but that was more recently, they were the first and possibly still the only, depending on how you look at it, football club in the Football League to have been formed by the joining of two teams, Ayr FC and Ayr Park House. That was in 1910. Absolutely love it. What a club Ayr United are right now. Things are going really, really well off the pitch and on it too. But we can't hang around for too long. We've got 9 more stadiums to visit. I'm sure you can imagine I get asked a lot, what is your favourite stadium in Scotland? And Capello is always one that comes to mind. It's very hard just to say one because there's so many different factors you've got to take into consideration. But the view you get at this ground of the old crane, the rugged nature of it, the fact that there is no cover for the away stand whatsoever. Now, Ayr and Morton are like the only two stadiums that we'll be visiting today that are like in the west of Scotland, like properly west. Like I know that Glasgow teams are considered like in the west or whatever, but in terms of like west of Glasgow, like these are the only two. It's quite amazing that the Championship is also close this year. But what is my interesting fact about Morton? Well, the fact that I just called them Morton. They're not called Greenock United or Greenock Town or Greenock FC. They're called Greenock Morton, and it's quite a interesting suffix to have on the end of the football team's name. One suggestion for the name is that it comes from Morton Terrace, which is close by to where Greenock Morton played their first game. There's another suggestion that the club is named after James Morton. He was a local builder and a provost of Greenock when this team were formed in 1874. That is one seriously old football club with one incredible view. Oh, Wow. Morton, your blackberries are unbelievable, lads. Oh, I've not had breakfast yet today. So these will do. There's hunters. Oh, I don't want these to go to waste. Sensational. Right. 2 down, 8 to go. Welcome to the team that has not one but 2 stadiums it plays in. I saw Queen's Park play a home match last season in Hampden Park over there, and this season they've been playing a lot of their games at Lesser Hampden, which you can see just behind me there as well. So it's a little bit confusing with Queen's Park. I guess when they play teams that have big away supports, they can play at Hampden if Scotland aren't using it, or Rangers have obviously been using it a lot this season. But if they're playing smaller teams with a smaller away support, then I guess they play at Lesser Hampden. Look at that. Yeah, it's international break week at the moment, so Scotland due to play Poland and Portugal very, very soon, as they are in the top group of the Nations League, whereas my country, England, got relegated. But anyway, what are my interesting facts to tell you about Queen's Park? There isn't just one, honestly. Like, there's so many with this club. I've covered them a lot, and you might know a lot about their history, but if you don't, here's a couple of good ones. So did you know that Queen's Park supplied all the players for Scotland's first ever game against England in 1872? Queen's Park are the only Scottish club to have played in the FA Cup final, losing against Blackburn in 1884. They reached the final in 1885 as well, and lost a game to Blackburn. Blackburn, for some reason, are Queen's Park's bogey team in England. Queen's Park are also the 3rd highest winners of the Scottish Cup, with 10 wins in total out of 12 finals they played in. Their last win was in 1893 and their last final was in 1900. So they haven't even played a final since 1900 for 124 years. They haven't won one since 7 years before that, yet they are still the 3rd highest winners of the Scottish Cup, behind only Celtic and Rangers. Right, I'm glad we've negotiated the Glasgow traffic all right. Bit of a mental one round the city this morning, but here we are at Partick Thistle. Let's sneak the GoPro in. Boom, an absolute classic of an SPFL stadium. There's a few groundsmen in there right now. That's a beautiful day to come and do this. The pitch is looking good. Stands are looking good. Anyway, yeah, Thistle, one of 2 Glasgow clubs in the Championship this season, and yeah, contesting the Glasgow Derby. Queen's Park, obviously, who we just visited when Lesser Hampden was getting rebuilt and Hampden was back in the hands of the SFA and stuff, and they weren't able to use that. They were actually using this stadium as their home stadium for a while. Or was that Clyde? I've seen Clyde v Queen's Park here. Were Clyde the home team or Queen's? I think it was Queen's Park. I honestly lose track of like the amount of ground shares that have happened between like Thistle, Queen's Park, Clyde. Partick Thistle, they've won the Scottish Cup and they've won the Scottish League Cup in 1921 and 1971 respectively, 50 years apart, which is quite amazing, but they've never won the top division before. I reckon I've got more chance of touching a goalpost at probably Airdrie or Livy, or maybe one of the 5 clubs as well. I feel like they'll be more open. There's some groundsmen in here. There's a few different ways into Thistle. I'm not 100% sure which is the best, but I just want to get out of Glasgow, quite honestly. So I'm glad we've done Queen's Park. I'm glad we've done Thistle. We've done the ones out the west. Now we should get on a bit of a run. We are officially halfway through. Here we are outside of Airdrie. Let's see if we can get inside. Oh, so these guys have all played 100 games. They're all still here. Ah, okay. Oh, thanks very much, mate. No, I appreciate that.
For your cup of tea.
Nice, my coffee in the morning.
Take one of these off for you.
Yeah. So are these seats new then, are they?
Yeah, oh aye. Yeah, but we, you know, we got a partnership with MTM.
And did they used to just be like that then?
No, it literally used to be a small bench at the back.
Ah, okay.
So, you know, it's trying to upgrade for the lofty aspirations that we have. My name's Kenny and I work for Airdrie Football Club.
And you're the man, what was it you said you were? Maintenance?
Repair and maintenance.
And so you're a fan of the club and you work here?
Yes.
And you say that there's like new things going on, you've got the new seats getting put in, the club has aspirations to move up to the Premiership maybe?
Absolutely. We're trying to build an infrastructure around about the club to support the football team first and foremost, but also to give a good experience for fans coming to visit our ground, whether it be home supporters, away supporters. We want everybody to come to Airdrie and see that they're going to have a good experience on the day.
Amazing. And the Championship this year is so tight, you'd be a brave man to bet for any one club. How would you see it going this season?
I think Airdrie have got a chance. It's early days in our season. The guys are working hard. We see them here every single day, putting the hours in. There's a lot of talented players here, and I'm pretty sure it's going to click for us, and we'll hopefully be in and about the playoffs this year.
Yeah, you reached the playoffs last season and got a trophy as well, didn't you? So is that kind of always the aspiration, just to be there or thereabouts, I guess?
No, absolutely. I mean, the aspirations of our managers is everybody plays to win. He doesn't play to draw games. He goes out there to win games and to play attractive football. So, we all have massive confidence in Reece. He's achieved a lot already in his short time as manager. A lot of people would say, why is that interesting? Well, I think it was in the 50s. Bobby Davidson was a Premiership referee.
Okay.
And when he finished his career, he ended up becoming a director at Airdrie. So, affectionately, we renamed the changing room the Bobby Davidson.
Do you think that's the only referees changing room in the country that's named after someone?
Might well be, but Bobby was a top flight referee, and as I said, that because he was a director here, we don't have the referees changing room. It is the Bobby Davidson changing room. Well, we obviously won a trophy last year. We can't let the guy not see.
Oh, I need to see the SPFL Trust Trophy. Yeah.
So, and then obviously our trophy candidate over there. It's not as bulging as we would like it to be, but
give it a couple of years.
We've got aspirations.
Yeah. Reece is a good manager as well.
Yeah.
He's still playing, obviously. There it is, yeah.
That's the Trust Trophy there.
Yep, I was at that final last year. Were you there as well?
Yes.
At Falkirk, wasn't it? Against TNS.
Yeah.
And you see TNS qualified for Europe this year. They're the first Welsh team to reach the European group stages of the Conference League. And you beat them, so you could be in Europe. Yeah.
Well, they were unbeaten. I think they've been unbeaten some 56 games. And then they played Airdrie and then we beat them.
Is that a match worn Del Piero? Because there's some stains around it. I wonder who that would be signed by. Zidane. That looks like that's Zidane, that one.
Yeah.
He'd have played for Juventus around then, I guess. Wow. Roberto Carlos there in the middle. Sol Campbell. Southgate.
Yeah.
This has got to be one of the best football shirt collections in the country, hasn't it?
Oh, I mean...
Rude Hullett?
So part of it is the Alan Rough collection. So there's shirts that were collected over his career. These are all part of the Alan Rough collection. These would be match-worn jerseys. That
So he would have swapped shirts with players for these ones, would he?
Yeah.
So Finland and Norway.
Owen Coyle.
Owen Coyle, yeah. Dossena. I like the randomness of some of them. Just a Luca Toni Fiorentina signed shirt.
Graham Souness. Liverpool versus Bruges European Cup final.
Match worn?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not the one that I think that you would find particularly special.
That's pretty incredible. Because that was at Wembley as well, that final.
I'll take you over here.
Okay.
This will be the creme de la creme shirt for somebody like yourself. This England shirt is autographed by 10 of the 1966 World Cup winning side. Only Bobby Moore's not on there.
Wow. Alan Ball, yeah. Bobby Charlton. Oh wait, so...
Because we played in Europe, we've played 2 games in Europe in the club's history. And that was the article from their paper.
So this wasn't going to be my fact, but having looked into it since filming this, I feel like it has to be. Airdrie never won the Scottish Cup that season to reach the Cup Winners' Cup. They lost the final against Rangers, who won the league as well as the Cup, and so Rangers qualified for the European Cup. They couldn't play in both European competitions, so Airdrie, as runners-up, ended up playing in the Cup Winners' Cup and playing their one and only round of European football ever, sadly losing against Sparta Prague. Played Sparta Prague, so who's playing in this team? Owen Coyle.
Yeah.
Welcome of the day goes to Airdrie. I know we got inside of Ayr and got a nice interview too, but that was great. I've never seen inside of Airdrie Stadium like that before. I've done a few games here. My first ever Old Firm was here, Celtic Women v Rangers Women. I've seen Airdrie play. I've done a few videos and games here before for different things, but I've never seen inside the proper shirts and all the corridors and boardrooms and trophies and stuff. So that was quality. This is the kind of stuff I like to see in these videos. Right, we're over halfway through now. Let's get to ground number 6. Good to bump into you, mate. You've just had training here, yeah? How's things going this season? Livy have started quite well, haven't they?
Yeah, we've started okay. It's been a good season. It's been a fresh start, obviously, a new team coming in. Lads have been brilliant, embedded very, very quickly. And yeah, we're unbeaten after the first 4 games, so yeah, it's a good steady start, and we're just hoping to keep going at it.
And what do you think about the championship this season? Because all the teams are quite tight in terms of like the quality. I feel like so hard to call.
Oh yeah, it's very competitive, and obviously everyone seems to be like having this thought of that everyone can go for it, and you've seen it in the games that we're playing. Like everyone's just really having a right go, and yeah, it's very challenging. It's different from the Prem, but it's challenging in its own way. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, obviously we're looking forward to every single challenge that comes by us now.
And you were in the Prem last year, obviously.
Yeah.
Disappointed to get relegated, but is there some positives that you can take? Like, do you play a different style of football now because you're not down the bottom of the Prem? You don't have to defend as much. Are you able to go for teams a little bit more in this division?
We definitely changed our style a little bit. I think we're trying to take the onus of having the ball a lot more, playing a lot more from the back, and you know, having a lot more possession in games and stuff like that. But obviously with a new team coming in, it was always going to be a little bit different anyway. So yeah, I think the games are still really, really physical. So we've got to make sure we keep that side and be at the top of our game in that. But yeah, we're just trying to control a lot more games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As the team coming down from the Prem, everyone's wanting to beat you. Do you know what I mean? Naturally, because you've just come down. You're meant to be one of the big teams, but yeah, it's been a challenge, but it's been enjoyable so far anyway.
Michael Nottingham, what a cool guy. Yeah, I first saw him play 3-4 years ago on the channel for Accrington Stanley, and I'm always really, really happy to see English players coming up to Scotland and doing really well. And yeah, although Livy obviously got relegated last year, it's good to see them doing well this year. Livy, one of the most welcoming clubs in Scotland to me. I'm taking my opportunity. Bam, there we go. Interesting Livy fact of the day. They're the newest team in the Scottish Championship, being formed in 1943, but technically they weren't even formed as Livingston Football Club. They were formed as Partick Thistle, a works team in Edinburgh. Ugh. Wasps. Been attacked by wasps here, but they then renamed in 1974 to Meadowbank Thistle, and they played at Meadowbank Stadium in Edinburgh, where Edinburgh City now play. And then in 1995 they relocated from Edinburgh, where they had always been, as Partick Thistle and Meadowbank Thistle. They relocated to Livingston and changed their name to Livingston FC. Buzzing with that. We've interviewed players, we've seen football shirts, we've touched a goalpost. We've done all our facts. We've still got 4 more stadiums to go. Oh, this has been a great video. I haven't done a non-match day video for absolutely ages in Scotland, so it feels good to be doing one. And Scottish football is so accessible. This is why I love it, particularly the lower leagues below the Premiership, and even the Premiership to a certain extent. But just comparing it to England, which it happens a lot, and there's obviously some quality teams and players in the Premier League, but it's pretty inaccessible. But I hope that this video just proves to you how welcoming Scottish clubs are and just how relatable it still is. Oh, we're rattling through the stadiums now. Here we are at Falkirk, the team who won League One at a canter last season. It took them about 5 years to get out of League One, but when they did, they made it look simple. They were on a run from the season before where they didn't lose a couple of games, and they went unbeaten all of last season. They're still unbeaten this season as well, so they're into their 3rd season of an unbeaten run right now in the league, which is just quite incredible. Now, how unprofessional of me. I'm gonna have to read this out as I tell it to you, but the club's nickname is the Bairns, a Scots word meaning sons or daughters. Obviously a lot of you will know that, which is given to the natives of the town of Falkirk. But where does it come from? Well, it was reflected in Falkirk Borough motto, which says, better meddle with the devil than the Bairns of Falkirk. There you go. But as much as we are in Falkirk to check out the stadium, here's where I can complete another one of the challenges. That right there is Falkirk Steeple, and that is what is on the Falkirk badge, a nice stylised image of that very building there. And check this out. Boom. That is what we love to see on ground hopping videos. Yeah, Dunfermline Stadium is pretty good, to be fair. It's massive. It feels so big when you're in here. And yeah, just that stand over there, this one here, it's got all 4 stands filled in. You can't say that about every single club in this division, but you can here, and the Ultras sit over there. And what puts this club on the map, I really like their European records. Just have a look at some of the games they've played in Europe before. I've touched on this a few times when I've visited Dunfermline, but they played in a European semi-final. They played against some really massive teams in Europe. The pitch looks amazing.
That's not too bad.
Is that your handiwork, yeah?
Well, bit of both.
Oh, nice, okay.
Boy, but
Yeah, nice grass pitch as well. Not every ground has a grass pitch in this league, so how do you reckon they'll get on this year? It's been a tough start, hasn't it?
It's been a tough start, but I mean, we played top of the league last week, so and the boys came out fighting, so
yeah, exactly. You got a point against Ayr, didn't you?
Got a point,
Yep,
so,
exactly.
It was good.
But yeah, European records aside, Dunfermline haven't had a great start to this season. They've only got 1 point, and that point was against the team that was top. I was just chatting to the groundsman about that there. And actually, before we go, I've just been sitting here looking at this picture for a second. So that man in the suit there, just to the right of the supporting the future of DAFC, that is Jock Stein, the man who won the European Cup for Celtic. He won some trophies here for Dunfermline and took them on their forays into Europe. And very bottom left there, do you recognise who that is? That is a young Sir Alex Ferguson. Not yet Sir, of course, but he actually played here for Dunfermline. A lot of people don't know that he was actually a really good striker and scored a lot of goals, and a lot of them he scored here for Dunfermline. I'm sure he played for Queen's Park as well as other clubs around Scotland. But look, there's some other legends on there. Let me know in the comments section below which others you recognise. Right, we've gone all the way from west to east. We've gone from the furthest west to the furthest east, Ayr to Raith. And you'd have thought this was the last one, but I'm actually finishing closest to where I live. Just a little bit easier logistically for me to do that. As you can imagine, there's a lot of driving that's gone onto this video, but yes, here we are, Starks Park. Ooh, come on. I've seen a lot of football games here. This is, yeah, one of the most that I was at last season, that's for sure. But yeah, in this video, we've seen modern stadiums like Airdrie and Livingston. We've seen really old school rugged ones like Greenock Morton. But this is kind of a blend of the two, I guess. We've got sort of like bigger, newer stands, plus an actual Archibald Elite stand there. When I do these videos, unless I'm told specifically I can, I very rarely walk on the pitch. You'll always see me walk around like that. Even though these are Astro, these pitches, I don't know if it's been freshly brushed. I don't know quite how they look after them, but particularly the grass ones, I would never just walk on one unless they specifically said I could. I'm always like careful not to get shouted at. I've been shouted at enough times by groundsmen. While we're here, I know we've already done one. Interesting Raith fact, they qualified for the UEFA Cup in the mid-90s after winning the League Cup. That was their first ever foray into Europe. And okay, they lost to Bayern Munich, but not before they went 1-0 up at the Olympia Stadion. We've been to that stadium before on the channel, and it is a classic built in the 70s for the Olympics in Munich. And Raith Rovers, yeah, little old Raith here in Kirkcaldy, went 1-0 up against the mighty Bayern Munich. You took the team for the Livy game. How have things been here at the club with a change of manager this season?
Look, it was difficult at the time, but we made a choice, and myself and Colin have took the team for a few weeks, and obviously getting Neil in this week has been great the last few days. So
he's got some experience as well.
He has, yeah, he has. He was on the pitch this morning. It was a good training session for the players, so we get to know everybody, get to know the way we work, the staff and the players get to know the way he works. So a little bedding in period, but it's been a good first day. And today I've been visiting all of the championship grounds. Last season was tight in the championship, but how do you see it going this year? Because it's just a toss of a coin, isn't it? It is, yeah. It'll be really tight. I said the league is a really exciting league most years, so we expect it to be the exact same this year. A lot of teams will fancy themselves to go and do well and win it, so we're expecting a tight league.
9 down and just 1 to go. Oh, what a day, I'm knackered. Good evening from Hamilton. Oh, the journey up here was ridiculous. Oh, the traffic on the M8 and stuff was mental, but here we are, we've completed the championship. Let's touch the stadium. Don't you just love it? Hamilton Academical. It is an interesting name for a football club, and it is the only football club in Britain that originated from a school team. So yeah, in the 1800s, Hamilton were originally just a team from the Hamilton Academy. Fast forward to 2024 and they're playing in the Scottish Championship. Last year they were in League One. A few seasons ago, when I first moved to Scotland, they were in the Premiership and they beat Rangers at Ibrox in the last domestic game at Ibrox before the COVID shutdown. So they've been a little bit up and down since I've lived at Hamilton, but right now they're in the Championship and they're doing okay, and they did well last season to get promoted. But yep, that is this video finished pretty much. I need to go home and edit it and see how it's looking and get it up for tomorrow. And it's now the evening, so please wish me luck. It's going to be a long one. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, if you got this far, please hit the like button and subscribe if you aren't already. A massive thank you to Glenn's for supporting me and sponsoring this video, and for sponsoring the SPFL as well. It's great that they support all the leagues, not just the big ones, but all the teams below as well. A massive thanks for watching, and goodbye.